So, to help discuss why you'd want to date an orc, I brought onto the show the mean green sex machine, Izzy with two S's. So, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, hi, I am Izzy with two S's, your local city orc, and what are we talking today?
Well, today
Again.
we are going to discuss the lore of orcs and why there should be more of them. Well, specifically, orc women, and why there should
Mm-hmm.
be more of them and why you want to date one of them. So
Mm.
let's discuss first on why do you think there aren't that many orc women in lore?
Uh-huh. Cause like, okay, from what I've noticed, at least from like how orcs are portrayed in media. They're like the big, burly, strong, like ready to like take on any type of war, type of like uh race. At least from like what I've seen in common media.
Basically, like
Um,
barbarians, right?
yeah, basically that's the thing, and like I guess with like the societal point of view, like they're like, okay, yeah, girls being barbarians, psh, nah, we're gonna throw that to the Amazons. Nah, we ain't got that shit. But like we need Amazons. Have you seen the muscles on some orc VTubers? I'm just saying. They can pin me against the wall and I'd say thank you, mommy. Goddamn shit.
Yeah, that's fair. Like who would you like recommend to view like other orc VTubers? You mean? I mean,
Mm. Okay, that I can happily talk about. Hang on, let me get water.
it's fine, it's fine.
Mm. If you want like the quintessential strong arm orc womana, I would highly suggest like the orc big sister herself, Hunter Graka or Graka the Daedra Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I and also like pork buns. I think at least from like what I've seen in like her in how like her model presents, her like her model is more akin to like my body type, but like she's basically kind of like in between me and Graka. So she's squishy but still got like the muscles in her. But
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. I see, I see. So like more of the well thicker kind of muscly.
yeah, the thickums muscles. Yes, friggin' but yeah, like if I remember correctly, Graka and like pork buns even did like I don't know what like they did a Valentine special where they like had guys go through this thing of like if they're I forgot what it was. I think it was a contest. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, really good like content creators, really good streamers. Highly recommend. Mm. Yeah, let me double check like pork buns thing. Pork buns is yeah, it's just pork buns but like C and not K.
Ah, okay,
Highly
cool. I'm
yeah.
sure the viewers would really appreciate a link, which I'll put in the description for these lovely people. So
Yeah.
going back to the meta discussion, well, I've discussed that in some lore, like Lord of the Rings, there is specifically female orcs, but they don't show up. This can also be shown in anime, like in the Slime Isekai. So why do you
Mm.
think that they don't show female orcs, even though in a lot of lore they do exist?
I with Lord of the Rings, the thing okay, but I don't know about like Lord of the Rings per se because they
Yeah.
can easily like show them, but like they didn't show it. So I don't know,
Yes,
maybe it's a budget constraint, time constraint, or what have you.
that's fair.
But yeah, that at least from like what I've like what I could like deduce from Lord of the Rings, from Slime Isekai, I hmm. I don't know. I think it's because of the fact that like there's still that stigma of like muscled girls aren't like considered pretty. Uh, again, which is again like have you
Yeah.
seen a pretty muscle girl like this? It is beautiful, peak physique. My God. accept the beauty in muscles, my guys. But yeah, I think that's what like I've, at least from what I've seen, like uh even not in like orcs in general, like muscles tend to be like very shied away, at least around like media that are like born from like Asian countries, because it's
Oh
not
yeah,
the
that's
societal
fair.
norm.
Definitely.
Yeah, like yeah, if you've like for example, like Genshin Impact, like the one of the newest characters that they released is Ito, Arataki Ito.
Okay.
And he was supposed to be like the big burliest, like strong armed like guy out of all of them. Or at least like the one that's gonna be like the first like burly guy there.
Sure.
And when you see like his model, it, the muscles are literally painted on.
What?
They yeah, legit. They like somebody like had like freaking got to zoom in on like the muscles. They are painted on like, and if you compare it to like the previous models, like let's say Kaya or
Yeah.
like Diluc, they're literally the same muscles. They're just painted on,
Okay, that's kind of
which is
sus.
yeah, which is also sus considering the fact that like the NPCs and the freaking villains have muscles,
they're
and I
basic.
mean
They're basically
muscle.
JoJo characters.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. So again, like I like from like the Eastern media, at least from my perspective,
Hmm.
as I have seen like even where I live, like most of like the guys like rarely have muscles, and even when they do, it's like just abs. That's it. Nothing. Anything else? Nada. It looked like they have skipped leg day, basically. So
Well,
so
I
like
suppose that's one of
yeah.
the appeals to an anime. Like, well, like I said, like Baki or JoJo, wherein they just absolutely make every character their Jack, the men, the women, even some of the
Yes.
animals. They
Yes,
just
yes, yes, yes.
over
I
make it
really
over the top.
appreciate
But that's the
that.
whole point, I suppose.
Yeah. There's no like realistic muscles, I think. If I'm like, but like yeah, so if there's like so few like animes or like media that can like portray guys in that top physique, at
I
least in like
suppose we
Eastern
also have to
media.
exclude like some shonen animes though, because well,
Mm.
let's say something like um MHA, My Hero Academia. They do have buff characters, but at some points, some of them are realistic, others not so
Not so
much.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's either a
But
bit over
like
the top for the
yeah.
point of that, or some other reason.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But like, so if we're gonna talk about like muscled like men, like there's so few, like few and far between like muscled men. What about like muscled women? There's like even more so.
Oh
So
yes,
unfortunately,
definitely.
yeah. So like unfortunately, if with that like logic, there's gonna be very few like women that have like the big burly physique that like people will want to see. And like if we even want to see it, it's usually in hentai that you have to like go for a category for it in the first place.
That is also
Uh
very true.
yeah.
I think the out of all of the animes that I've seen, and to be fair, I haven't really seen a lot of animes. One of the
Mm-mm-mm.
most obvious like buff women is probably from Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, wherein they showed, well, like what you said
Oh.
earlier, the Amazons. Those women were
Mm-mm.
actually, there was some of them were just seriously jacked, others not so much. I bet it's a bit like
Yeah.
underdeveloped. But I suppose that's really just part of their character. But it's still just given to the Amazons, which is a missed opportunity, I suppose.
Yeah, it is a missed opportunity, though I might have just to chalk it up as like them not knowing how like um muscles work per se, at least in like the western point of view, because like if you look at like western shit, the freaking like DC, Marvel, those have jacked up women all to hell
That's
and
fair.
back.
Well, we have the number one jacked up women that people goes to is Wonder Woman so far.
Yeah, and also like Luisa from Encanto as
Encanto.
well.
Oh, I should probably look it
Yeah.
up.
Oh, you haven't watched Encanto, bro.
I haven't watched a lot of Disney movies lately.
Ah, okay. No, it's fair. But yeah, like the latest like strong woman that's been like around like media is Luisa from Encanto, because she like her physique is literally like bodybuilder physique. And it was like I think one of the first times like in mainstream media they've shown that, at least like from a second
From
like
yeah,
a
like from
yeah.
Disney or at least.
Yeah, Disney at least. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we've discussed like why there probably isn't any buff or there isn't any orc girls in media. Well, it's usually because orcs are associated with something like barbarians, barbarics, and people don't like to associate those with women. And they
Yeah,
usually want to prefer
unfortunately.
just viewing women as the, well, yes, the stereotypical, and
The
only
unfortunate
give,
stereotype. Yeah.
yeah, only give those traits to like very rare occasions like Amazons. So I'm sure plenty of viewers want to ask is, why would somebody want to have more orc women in media? Like, why? What are the traits of dating an orc lady? And that's why you're mainly here, because you can showcase why orc women should be a mainstream staple. Because from I've only seen like one case. I've only seen at least two cases of orc women in anime. One of them is from
Mm.
chubby waifu. I mean, sorry, I keep calling it that. It's called Elf Can't Diet, where one of the girls is an orc lady, of course, because it's kind
Huh?
of a harem. It's kind of a harem manga. And the
Mm-mm.
second one is doesn't actually have a name because I've scoured the internet and I couldn't find a name for it. But there are like female orcs and the Japanese style of orcs where they're very pig pig like personally.
Yeah. There's also like the association of like orcs with like pigs, and I guess some people aren't really into that when it comes to like orc women, I
Oh yeah,
guess, question
definitely.
mark. Yeah. But yeah.
So
Mm. Uh, yeah.
why would a person want to date an orc girl in why should a person want to date an orc girl?
I mean, well, look at me. Just
Fair.
kidding. Okay. Well, the thing is, how can I pitch this properly? Well, for one, okay, not me specifically, because unfortunately, I got like the runt of the litter when it comes to like the height.
That's fair.
I'm
I'm an imp, so I can understand that.
Yeah, but like usually, orc girls tend to be very tall, around 6'1", maybe even more so, at least from what I've heard. So like, if you need like somebody that can reach the shelf, you got them. You got them. Like she's there. She's there to like pick you up. What else?
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm.
There are a lot of media that does depict, well, orcs generally to be bigger, buffer humans. So if
Yee.
you turn that to a female form, of course they would still retain the same traits. It's just that we're unfortunate that we got screwed over when it comes to the height department.
Yeah, yeah. Mm,
So what
what
else? Like let's say when it comes to let's go with cuisine.
Oh, cuisine. I mean, you'll never go hungry. I mean, have you seen how orcs eat? Like,
Ah,
big.
yes, it's understandable how it's almost similar to dwarves in in a sense, wherein a lot of times when they eat, it's just basically a feast.
Big hearty meals. Big hearty meals. Yes, 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 yes. Mm, what else? I mean, if you want to go for the nasty route, I have something for
I mean,
that.
surely the viewers would want to see that, hear about it. Sorry, this is YouTube. We can't do this.
we can't. But anyways, when it comes to like the nasty side of things, okay, orc guys aren't exactly the best. when it comes to the private quarters, I'm sorry, orc guys. I just
Oof.
gotta.
Oof. The orc guys in the chat probably. Ooh.
Okay, canonically speaking, and I'm saying canonically, this is coming from like this is coming from D&D 3.5 if I remember correctly.
They talk about
I'm not I
nasty stuff in D&D. I should get into
Okay,
D&D
no,
more.
no, no. Okay, so the thing is with D&D 3.5 or D&D 3,
Mm-hmm.
there's a little bit of copyright issues with it. Not exactly issues, but like loopholes to the point that anybody can like create something and it can be semi-canon or like a head canon that can be accepted in like the D&D space.
Ooh.
And
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah, and so luckily, also feel free to like correct me. I am just going off the people in the chat. Feel free to correct me. I'm going
Surely
off the cuff
the
with like my
viewers
memory.
who are like total D&D heads can just write a comment down below on something about this.
Yeah, I'm just going for like the basic summary of like why it can be like headcanon. But anyways, so I found this beautiful little book
Yeah.
called Book of Something Something. I think you can like blank fantasy. I think you can like fill up the first
I think
blank
you
for
can
that
just
one.
say I'll just censor it out if it's a bit too
Okay.
much.
Okay, book of erotic fantasy
Okay, that's
basically.
fine.
And okay, okay. And basically, it kind of goes into so much detail on every single race, counting orcs. And apparently, um the faster an orc is, the quote unquote better they are in the private quarters. To the point that like brothels that service orcs usually charge by the minute.
Oh my god.
Some even hold contests to see how
Who's
many
gonna?
clients one can service in a given period of time.
Oh,
I am literally quoting this word for word in the book, I will say.
oh my god. Okay, that's one way of putting it for orcs.
Yeah, I'm so sorry, orc guys, but yeah, I hate to break it to all, but being very quick, it ain't it, homie. It ain't
That
it. But
I see what you mean, but I'm
but
just sad for
when
the
it
orc
comes
guys in
to
the
orc,
chat right now.
yeah, I'm so yeah. I hate to break it to them, but you gotta do what you gotta do. But anyways, but the good thing about it is when it comes to girls, they're used to it being quick.
Hmm.
So
Oh, okay. I think I see where this is going.
so yeah, yeah, yeah. So like imagine if you will, like I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just saying.
Okay. No,
No,
don't get too into it, chat. Okay.
but imagine if you will an orc girl, like you had a good time with an orc girl, you want to get down and dirty with her, and then like give or take, let's say like a minute or two, like you feel like she like goes into like high heaven, and then suddenly like you still keep on going, she's gonna be like, oh shit, okay, all right, okay.
Okay. Okay, that part I might have to cut out. Maybe.
Uh, but yeah, with that, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a good ego boost for some of y'all. So,
Okay, well, at least, well, that's already like a very good reason. We can already end the video here. Just kidding.
but yeah, but yeah, I think that's a good reason.
I mean, yes, that is a remarkably good reason because let's be honest, it's like one of those things that
Some
that
people are, yeah, some are insecure
yeah.
about, yeah. But yeah, don't worry if you find an orc girl. Then now you got like some good old info on that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So how about let's say you're okay. Besides the erotic stuff, obviously,
Mm.
what else are some traits that or perks that orc women that have above normal human women or let's say elf women?
We'll never get jealous for one thing,
Huh?
cause
Wait.
okay, Okay,
We really
so
need some
for orc.
context for that.
Okay, so okay, I'm going from the book again.
Sure,
It's
that's
not
fine.
exactly like it's not nasty. It's just like how they portray like relationships. Basically, for like orc tribes, like they are used to the harem situation. So if you're
Okay.
yeah, so if you're gonna be like with an orc girl, either expect her to be very, like, yeah, we're gonna if you're gonna have like a harem, I don't mind. Yeah, sure, the more the merrier. Sure, I need somebody to like go shopping with. It's fine.
Okay, well, I suppose that that could be also a positive and negative depending on how one looks at it. Because this, despite the fact that it is kind of nice to have a girl that isn't well insecure about those kinds of things, it can also be a bit detrimental to some people who want somebody that's more, let's say, clingy. But I suppose that you can still have somebody that's clingy who also does allow you to have a harem, but that's a whole different subject, I suppose.
That's a whole different like
It's just
yeah
like
thing to
case by
tackle.
case basis at that point, I suppose.
Mm-mm. But yeah, I'm just saying that's how like the orc tribes put it. At least from like what I've like read in like my old history books. So yeah.
Yeah, that
Mm.
yeah, I think that that works. So, considering the orc women are not as what's the proper term for this? They're more emotionally. That's actually no, that sounds wrong. If I say distant, they're more.
Open minded,
Yes,
open.
they're more
Yeah.
open to relationships. This could it wouldn't be more complicated because the person, let's say, okay, let's go with this person being a human because that's, well, a majority of the audience is human.
Mhm. Mhm.
So them being in a relationship means that they would probably want somebody who's more monogamous, and well, I'm surely the orc can also deliver on that. It's a case to case basis,
Mhm.
but that makes sense. Now, considering the implications of the world that we're talking about here, what are some things that human men can expect from having an orc an orc wife, I suppose?
The first, I don't know why, but the first thing that thought of is like pregnancy, and I'm like, no,
Yes, well,
I
that's
don't think.
fine.
Well, the thing is, uh, orc pregnancies are messy, bro. I don't know how to say this. It's very short and very brutal to the point that like death of a female orc is more often than not because of that.
Oh, okay.
So like if you want to like protect your orc wife, maybe
Don't
wrap
get her
it up
pregnant.
just a little wrap it up.
Wait, why do you think does it end up in that kind of way though? Where it ends up
It's
in
I think
the
it's because of the fact that like orc tribes are usually nomads or like they travel a lot. So like so the more they travel, like it needs to be like okay, we need this quick. Also connected to like the private quarters situation, I suppose. So maybe
that
that's
that
just my guess.
that makes sense because they're more, what's the term for this? Well, what we said, nomadic. So I suppose they try to rush through things to the point where it's actually detrimental to the health of the female orc. So I guess that
Yeah.
that makes sense. But I suppose if depending on the state of the world and the type of living situation that the human is, the husband of the orc lady, they could be in a, well, more medically sufficient work area, I suppose. But that's, yeah.
Basically just make sure you got like your health insurance in check.
I
If you
mean,
want
you
an
are
orc
a city
waifu.
orc, so surely one of your comrades who are other orcs?
I mean,
Kinda.
I again, to be fair though, I'm just a city orc, so like anything like tribe related, I have no basis on. I'm just going by a history book, okay?
That's fair.
So please, and try maybe like have a conversation about that. We could like we'll see what like the freaking chat will talk about in like
Definitely. If you
this
have
video.
any more things you want to add when it comes to orc waifus, just write down below. In the description, of course. I mean, in the comments.
Let us know in the comments below. Let's go.
So, from everything from lifestyle to the culinary arts to, well, erotic arts also, that really has shown that orcs are very unique in terms of a race, yet very similar to early humans, to how they acted in certain situations. So, okay, what else can you add, you reckon, that can probably convince one of our viewers to see female orcs as a potential partner in the future?
I mean, if you need like a hole puncher, like
Yeah, just she's the one who's gonna do all the handiwork, I suppose.
if you need like a hole puncher, like for like paper, I mean the tusks are there for a reason.
That's true. That's very true.
Just make sure to like freaking I don't know, freaking baby proof it when y'all get dirty in the sheets.
Or if you do want to have a baby, make sure you have health insurance. At the very least. Or at least a competent doctor. Don't go to those voodoo doctors that just think that they can do everything with mushrooms.
Some back alley doctors.
Oh man, that's a pain to deal with.
Bruh.
So you have anything else to add?
Mm, none. I don't think so. No, it's just yeah.
Okay then, so this was a really good talk. We really enjoyed talking about orcs, and surely somebody's going to discuss and maybe got their minds changed on why they should date orcs because, well, from all those things, including the erotic things, obviously, that would really, well, turn some heads, I should say.
I'm glad it would. I'm glad if it would.
So thank you for coming on to the show, and we will continue on with the video.
Yeah.